Hey everybody, it's Jeff. It's time for Gimkit's monthly update for June 2020. I'm going to do this one just a little bit differently. First of all, it's going to be just me. Also, instead of going through Gimkit's last month section by section, I'm really going to focus on just two things. I'm going to talk a little bit about recent events and also go over Gimkit's growth and development for the past school year. It's a difficult and important moment for our country. The last month has seen a lot of anger, confusion, and sadness as America, once again, grapples with racial inequality and injustice in a very real way. It's not nearly enough, but I want to take 8.46 seconds of silence for George Floyd, his family, and countless innocent black Americans who have lost their lives in this country simply because of the color of their skin. One thing we do in every monthly update that we're keeping this month is our appreciation. Our appreciation this month is for Wakelet, Ken Shelton, Flipgrid, Pear Deck, Yuritsa Vieba, John Meehan, Mr. Gupton, George Stewart, and everyone in education who has been speaking up and taking action online and in person. John Meehan's Twitter presence over the last month is one example of how powerful a teacher sharing their protest experience can be for students and for others. Wakelet, Flipgrid, and Pear Deck have not only made statements around current events, but have backed those words up with action. Ken Shelton, George Stewart, Yuritsa, and the other educators I mentioned haven't had to change who they are online or otherwise to speak up and speak out. They are tremendous voices, especially for those of us who are trying to learn and do more to fight systemic racism at all levels, and in education in particular. Of course, these are just a few examples. There are many more people in the education sphere who are taking action. Our appreciation this month is for everyone in education who is protesting, educating themselves and others, having conversations and listening, and supporting the ongoing movement to take on systemic racism and injustice for Black Americans. Following the initial wave of protests following George Floyd's murder, the three of us here had several conversations about what we could do to help. As a small company in education, we went back and forth about what we could and should do, what mattered and what didn't matter. Our conversation was inspired in part by Pear Deck's actions, which they've pinned to the top of their Twitter page if you want to check them out. We have more to learn, more conversations to participate in, more listening to do, and more action to take. But we've done a few things that we want to share. Earlier this month, we donated $10,000 to the United Negro College Fund. One of the reasons Gimkit exists today is privilege. Black Americans do not have many of the privileges that allowed us to create Gimkit and find success with it. We're fortunate enough to be in the position to advance our mission, which is to create memorable learning experiences, by working on Gimkit and other products. As we talked with one another about what we could do to help, we realized that we can make our mission a reality through our resources as well. We haven't stopped having that conversation here either. Fadi, Josh, and I have been educating ourselves further on race, including the development of racial identity, how the education system fits into the larger conversation, and of course, historical context. We also became a Facebook-free business recently. The actions Facebook has taken, specifically over the last few years, have shown their lack of compassion, respect, and decency in the quest for profit. You can read more about our decision to become a Facebook-free business over on our blog at blog.gimkit.com. Shifting gears a little bit, I want to talk about the school year that just ended. I want to acknowledge everything you and your students went through, and I also want to talk a little bit about what it meant for us here at Gimkit. This school year was only our second full school year as a company. And over the course of the 2019-2020 school year, we had 28 million educators and students use Gimkit. 1.2 million people signed up for new Gimkit accounts. And Gimkit educators and students created almost 1.5 million kits, 1.5 million kits. And you all hosted 4,267,776 live games. And that's just since October 1st, when we started tracking the number of live games played. On behalf of Fadi and Josh, I want to extend a huge thank you to the thousands of paying subscribers and hundreds of schools and districts that pay for Gimkit. 100% of our income is from subscriptions, so thank you so much for keeping us going. For the summer and next school year, Fadi and Josh are working on improvements to assignments that will help with distance learning, and also our new product, Ink, which we're designing to help students fall in love with writing. Fadi is also working on a project that many educators have been asking for a long time, but we're not quite ready to start talking about now. We're excited to talk more about it soon, though. Well, that just about does it for this month, but I do want to leave you with this, and I'm going to read it for the most part, so I'll be even more wooden than normal. America is coming to grips with a history of slavery, racism, and white supremacy. This is not the first time, and it won't be the last. But we all have an opportunity in this moment, right now, to participate and take actions that will result in change. As a part of the education system, we have an even more specific opportunity to shape how history is taught, how young people are supported, and how the opinions and minds that will participate in the future of American systems are shaped. That is a remarkable opportunity, one that we must take advantage of. Take care of yourselves and of one another. From all of us here at Gimkit, thank you for all you do and for all of your support over this school year. We'll see you next month.